Your body is precious. It is our vehicle for awakening. Treat it with care. The Buddha. Have you ever wondered why, during your spiritual journey, your body starts to feel different, as if something deep inside you is awakening? You may notice strange sensations, sudden waves of peace, or even unexplained changes in your energy. These are not random experiences. They are signs of your spiritual awakening. In Buddhism, the body and mind are not separate. They move together as one. When the soul begins to awaken, the body responds in powerful and mysterious ways. In today's video, we'll explore 7 powerful lessons on what happens to your body when you begin spiritually awakening. These insights will not only help you understand the changes you're experiencing, but also guide you in embracing them as part of your path to freedom and inner peace. Stay with me until the very end, because lesson number 7 reveals the ultimate transformation, a shift that can completely change how you live, breathe, and experience life. Lesson 1. Heightened Energy Flow. When you begin to awaken spiritually, one of the first things you'll notice is a surge of energy flowing through your body. It may feel like tingling in your hands and feet, a gentle vibration in your spine, or even sudden waves of warmth moving across your chest. In Buddhism, this is connected to the movement of prana, the life force or energy that flows through your inner channels. Normally, this energy is blocked by stress, negative habits, or unconscious living. But when awakening begins, these blockages start to dissolve. Imagine a river that has been clogged for years. Suddenly, the dam breaks, and the water flows freely. In the same way, your body begins to channel this awakened energy, allowing you to feel more alive, more aware, and more connected to the present moment. This is why many people report feeling lighter, more sensitive, or even buzzing with energy during meditation. It is not something to fear. It is a beautiful sign that your body is aligning with a higher state of consciousness. Lesson 2. A stronger mind-body connection. As your spiritual awakening unfolds, you begin to notice a deeper connection between your body and your mind. Suddenly, you are more aware of how your emotions affect your posture, how your thoughts influence your heartbeat, and how your breath carries the state of your soul. In Buddhism, this is the essence of mindfulness, living with awareness of every moment. The Buddha taught that when we bring our attention to the body, we are not just observing flesh and bones, but entering the gateway to inner freedom. You may find yourself naturally pausing to take slow, mindful breaths. You may notice that when your mind is restless, your shoulders tense, and when your mind is calm, your heartbeat softens. This awareness allows you to live with greater harmony. Through meditation and mindful breathing, you learn to treat your body not as a burden, but as a sacred partner on your journey. This strengthened mind-body connection becomes a compass, guiding you toward balance, health, and peace. Lesson 3. The release of stored emotions. As your spiritual awakening deepens, something powerful begins to happen. Emotions you've carried for years start to rise to the surface. Old pain, grief, or anger that was quietly stored in your body begins to release itself. You might suddenly cry without knowing why, laugh uncontrollably, or feel waves of heaviness in your chest or stomach. This can feel overwhelming, but in Buddhism, this is seen as purification, the cleansing of the mind and body. The Buddha taught that clinging to the past creates suffering. When we hold on to unprocessed emotions, they don't disappear. They hide in our muscles, our breath, even our heartbeat. Spiritual awakening brings light to these hidden places, allowing the body to let go. Think of it as opening windows in a dusty room. At first, the air stirs and the dust swirls, but soon the space becomes fresh and clear. In the same way, when emotions rise, it is your body's way of cleansing itself, preparing you for greater peace and freedom. Lesson 4. Changes in sleep and rest patterns. Another sign of spiritual awakening is that your sleep and rest patterns begin to shift. You may find yourself sleeping less, but feeling more refreshed, or suddenly needing deep, long hours of rest. Sometimes you might wake up in the middle of the night with a clear mind, as though your body wants silence rather than sleep. In Buddhism, this is understood as the body aligning itself with new levels of awareness. Your nervous system is adjusting, your mind is processing, and your body is integrating the changes of awakening. The Buddha often emphasized that true rest is not only physical, but also mental. A person can sleep for many hours and still feel tired if their mind is restless. But during awakening, you may notice that moments of deep meditation or stillness give you the same restoration as hours of sleep. So if your sleep feels different, do not worry. It is simply your body's way of harmonizing with your spiritual growth. The more you trust the process and listen to your body's needs, the more balance and clarity you will experience. Lesson 5. Sensitivity to food and environment. As your spiritual awakening deepens, you may notice that your relationship with food and your surroundings begins to change. Foods that once felt comforting may now feel heavy. Crowded or noisy places may suddenly overwhelm you, and you might feel drawn toward natural, simple, and lighter environments. This is because awakening heightens your sensitivity. Your body begins to reject what no longer serves your energy, and it starts craving what nourishes both body and soul. In Buddhism, this is closely related to the principle of ahimsa, non-harming. As your awareness grows, you naturally lean toward choices that bring peace rather than disturbance, both within and outside of you. You may find yourself choosing fresh fruits, vegetables, and lighter meals instead of processed or heavy foods. Drinking water feels more essential, as if your body longs for purity. And spending time in nature becomes not just enjoyable, but necessary, because your soul feels at home in stillness and simplicity. This shift is not about strict rules or restrictions. It's not about forcing yourself to eat a certain way or avoiding the world. It's about tuning into what your awakened body is telling you. Buddhism teaches that the body is a sacred vessel, and by listening to its signals, you practice mindfulness in action. You may also notice that environments affect you differently. A place filled with conflict, noise, or negativity may leave you drained, while peaceful surroundings recharge you instantly. This is because as your consciousness rises, you become more sensitive to energy, both in what you consume and where you spend your time. This sensitivity is a gift. It helps you align your daily life with your spiritual growth. By respecting your body's changing needs, you move closer to balance, compassion, and inner peace. Lesson 6. A radiance in your presence. One of the most beautiful signs of spiritual awakening is that your presence itself begins to change. People may tell you that you glow, that you look calmer, or that simply being around you feels peaceful. This radiance is not about physical appearance in the ordinary sense. It is the light of inner harmony shining through your body. In Buddhism, this is sometimes described as the natural beauty of sila, virtue and inner purity. When the mind becomes lighter and freer from attachment, the body begins to reflect that peace. Just as a still pond reflects the sky with clarity, a calm soul allows the body to shine with an effortless glow. You may notice subtle shifts. Your eyes become brighter, your posture more open, your skin more vibrant. Stress lines soften, and even the way you move changes. There is more gentleness in your gestures, more patience in your voice, more warmth in your smile. Others will sense this without you having to say a word. It's as if your energy speaks louder than your voice. Animals may feel more comfortable around you. Strangers may smile at you for no reason. Friends might notice that they feel calmer or happier after spending time with you. This is because your awakened presence resonates outward, creating ripples of peace in the world around you. The Buddha himself was often described as radiating a serene aura that brought comfort to those near him. This was not because of material wealth or outward beauty, but because his inner state was free from clinging and filled with compassion. Your radiance is a reflection of your inner alignment. It comes not from trying to impress others, but from simply living in harmony with truth, compassion, and awareness. The more you walk this path, the more your presence itself becomes a form of teaching, a living example of peace without needing words. This lesson reminds us that true beauty is not found in appearances, but in the light that flows from within. When you awaken, your body becomes a mirror of your soul's clarity, and that radiance inspires others to seek the same peace within themselves. Lesson 7. The Awakening of Inner Stillness. Perhaps the most profound transformation of spiritual awakening is the birth of inner stillness. While earlier lessons bring changes in energy, emotions, or habits, this final stage is something much deeper, a silence that begins to live within you. At first, you may notice it only in brief moments, a pause between your thoughts, a breath that feels unusually calm, a walk in nature where the world seems to slow down. But over time, this stillness begins to expand, touching every corner of your life. In Buddhism, this is the path towards samadhi, a state of deep concentration and unity. It is not merely quietness on the outside. It is the stillness of your heart and mind, where the constant noise of worry, fear, and desire begins to fade. Your body reflects this inner silence. The heartbeat becomes steadier, the breath flows more smoothly, and even your nervous system relaxes. Stress begins to lose its grip, and peace becomes your natural rhythm. You no longer feel pulled in 1,000 directions. Instead, you move through life with grace, presence, and clarity. This inner stillness doesn't mean you withdraw from the world or live without challenges. Rather, it means that no matter what storms arrive, you carry a calm center within you. Just as the depths of the ocean remain undisturbed by the surface waves, your awakened self rests in peace even when life feels turbulent. Others will sense this peace in you. They may feel more relaxed simply by being in your company. Your words may become fewer, but they will carry more weight and compassion. Your silence itself may become more powerful than speech. The Buddha described this as the freedom from craving, the end of struggle. When stillness awakens within you, you begin to realize that happiness was never out there. It was always here, in the quiet presence of your being. This is the ultimate gift of spiritual awakening, not just energy, clarity, or radiance, but the deep recognition that peace lives within you. Once you find it, the world outside can no longer shake the truth inside. Lesson 8. Living in harmony with the flow of life. After the awakening of inner stillness, the next natural step is integration, bringing your spiritual awakening into every corner of daily life. This is where the transformation truly becomes complete, because awakening is no longer something that happens only when you meditate, pray, or sit in silence. Instead, it becomes a way of being, a way of breathing, a way of living in every moment. You may begin to notice that life feels less like a constant battle and more like a graceful dance, where once you pushed, resisted, and struggled, you now allow yourself to move with the natural rhythm of existence. Instead of trying to force outcomes, you begin to trust the unfolding of events. This shift is what Buddhism calls Dhamma, living in harmony with truth, aligning yourself with the universal law that governs all things. Your body reflects this harmony in profound ways. The constant tension in your muscles begins to soften. Your breath becomes smooth and unhurried, as if in tune with the heartbeat of the universe. Digestion improves, headaches ease, and the weight of stress that once drained you begins to fade. Why? Because you are no longer resisting life. You are allowing it. You are no longer swimming upstream. You are flowing with the river. The Buddha reminded us with a simple but profound teaching. Whatever arises will also pass away. When you begin to live in this truth, the fear of holding on loosens its grip, and the anxiety of the unknown begins to dissolve. You start to trust the impermanence of all things, and in that trust, your body and mind find rest. Your relationships begin to transform as well. The urge to win arguments or prove yourself right loses its power over you. Instead of clinging to your ego, you find joy in listening deeply, in speaking gently, and in meeting others with compassion rather than judgment. Even conflicts that once felt unbearable become opportunities to practice patience and wisdom. Challenges no longer feel like punishments. They reveal themselves as teachers guiding your growth. Living in harmony with life's flow doesn't mean you stop making choices or lose direction. On the contrary, it means that your choices are made with clarity, not fear. It means that instead of reacting to life with panic or resistance, you respond with wisdom, grounded in the stillness you have cultivated. You begin to trust the quiet voice within more than the noise of the world outside. And as this integration deepens, something extraordinary happens. Your daily life itself becomes your spiritual practice. Washing the dishes, walking in nature, speaking with a loved one. These no longer feel like ordinary actions. They become sacred moments, each one infused with mindfulness and presence. Your body becomes an instrument of peace, your breath a rhythm of calm, and your words seeds of compassion. Every step you take, every gesture you make, begins to carry the weight of awareness. And through this awareness, you discover that the most ordinary moments can hold the most extraordinary truths. In this way, awakening is not an escape from the world. It is a deeper entry into it. You no longer try to run from pain or chase after pleasure. Instead, you meet life as it is, flowing with it rather than against it. Your body, your mind, and your spirit begin to move together as one, in harmony with the great current of existence. And in that flow, you discover true freedom. Not the freedom of escaping life's challenges, but the freedom of knowing that no matter what arises, you can meet it with peace. You've now discovered the 8 powerful lessons of what happens to your body when you begin to spiritually awaken. From the flow of new energy, to the release of old emotions, to the awakening of inner stillness, and finally to living in harmony with the flow of life. Each change is a sacred reminder that your body is not just a shell, but a living temple of wisdom. Remember, spiritual awakening is not about becoming someone new, but about returning to the truth of who you've always been. Every step you take in mindfulness, compassion, and awareness brings you closer to peace. If this journey spoke to your heart, I gently invite you to like this video, share it with others who may be walking the same path, and subscribe for more teachings and reflections inspired by the timeless Buddhism way. Together we can spread peace, compassion, and light in a world that longs for it.